Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. On deck, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Detroit Lions and the Arizona Cardinals. With that, let's get out to the desert. Standing by in Glendale, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. We are about 15 miles west of downtown Phoenix at State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. It's certainly hot outside here in the desert, but somehow this Cardinal crowd turned up the heat a moment ago. They were in a frenzy as their team emerged from the tunnel, and the Cardinals, they're set to do battle with Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions. So happy to be with you, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis, and we thought it would never get here, but here we are back together. It's opening weekend of the 100th season in the NFL.
So much football to talk about. That's our main focus. But how about how much happened in the offseason? Rules changes. Overtime rules were discussed in a big way. Some superstars changed addresses. There's a whole lot to talk about in the NFL in addition to this game we're getting ready to watch.
Faking the give to Johnson. Now it's Stafford. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. And now the offense for Detroit.
Obviously a tough test for this offense right out of the gate. Road game in game one of the new year. Conventional wisdom says, go slow, take care of the football. I think in this case, attack early and get the home team back on their heels.
This thrown quickly out to Jones. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. The tally there, minus 2 yards. Brings up third down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
3 and out, a real danger here on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 12. From the gun, here's Stafford. And he's got Amendola on the connection. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
On the return is Peterson. Call that one an even 60 yards, 6-0. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. So here come the Cardinals now for their first drive. And they'll be led out by the guy under center, Charles, their quarterback.
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it has permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give him a better chance to lead the team to wins.
Come on, set. 70, Indy. Push him back. Push him back. Fire.
This is David Johnson, the former All-Pro. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line.
That's it.
Tavon Wilson up to make the tackle. And here are the offensive starters for Arizona.
And last night we were discussing some of the changes they've made offensively during the offseason. And we know it helps for them to have the first game at home. Hopefully this crowd, which we saw coming in, they've been here for a while, ready to go. You and I should have joined the tailgates, that's for sure. They're going to give them plenty of encouragement. They'll try and ride that wave and get their first victory of the year.
On second down now, it's Johnson. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or two short here with third down coming up. And now the Lions defensive starters.
As the Detroit Lions continue to rebuild their defense, they were so excited about the opportunity to acquire defensive end Trey Flowers from New England, who always put on big performances in the playoffs and in Super Bowls. And now the Lions looking forward to seeing that game in and game out. 7.5 sacks is his career high. They'd love to see that number get to double digits.
Switch it, switch it, switch it. Come on, switch it.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. So much for picking it up on the ground on 3rd down. 3rd play of the drive, and this defense showing strong early.
I wonder how much of that was scouting. I wonder how much of that was a gut feeling like, okay, let's just go ahead and sell out here and get after them, thinking they're going to run the football and stuff them early, because they've now set the tone. They've set a precedent right here that if you're going to try and run the ball against us, it could be hard going throughout this game.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. Now the Notre Dame man, this is Theo Riddick. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30. And the 11 defensive starters for Arizona.
Safety DJ Swearinger brings not just athletic ability to the field, he also brings a strong belief that he can get to the football on every snap. An absolutely fierce hitter, you can feel his intensity even when you're sitting down and having a meeting with him prior to the game.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Watch tight. Tight is right. Watch tight. Tight is
Stafford. James has got it. Complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Lady! Mike, 58, right there. I hope he runs the rest of
Throwing is Stafford. James has it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A gain of 19 and picking up the 1st.
180!
On 1st down, Stafford here. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 11 yards there and a Lion 1st down.
Partney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go. And let's see who's faster.
Now it's Stafford. And it's caught here. Amendola. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. 2nd and 5 now. Stafford. Amendola's got it, complete. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. From 6 yards away, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. That's an old-fashioned death march there, partner. Took them a lot of plays, but hey, they did the job.
And the defense always preaches getting off the field, making a play and turning it back over to their own offense. Unable to do so. A long, sustained drive by the offense.
Prater for the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And the end result, a Detroit touchdown. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Operating from the gun. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I'm coming back. I'm coming back.
And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Larry Fitzgerald was the intended target, and it's 3rd down. Even though he's a 4th rounder, I think he might have a chance to play and prove that, hey, I could have been taken higher in that draft.
And we've seen so many times now, guys who go lower in the draft, undrafted free agents that become big-time players, Pro Bowl players. So you never know. 4th-round pick has a chance to be a really good player.
And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago, really it grades out as a pretty darn good class.
So you have to give a lot of credit to the entire scouting organization. General manager, personnel department, college scouts, it all came together. They evaluated it very well and got a nice payoff. Yeah, and that play was pretty well doomed right from the start. The pressure was really affecting him. Collapsed everything in the pocket. He had to move around, try to get it downfield. Incomplete.
Here's Andy Lee now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Lions will take over. And Detroit getting set to go now. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. Now Stafford. Amendola catching it left side. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down? Well, for these two franchises, the Lions and the Cardinals, it all began back on a Sunday in October of 1930 when the Chicago Cardinals visited Portsmouth, Ohio to play a scoreless game against the hometown Portsmouth Spartans in front of 6,500 fans. 4 years later, the Portsmouth Spartans would move to Detroit. But anyways, 90 seasons later, after some rebranding, a couple relocations, one of the oldest rivalries in the NFL still lives on. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Throwing again. Pruitt. There's the first NFL grab for Andy Isabella. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Looking to throw. Pruitt. And that's knocked away and incomplete.
The one with the dime look that time on defense just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
The Cardinals worst in the NFL, 6 of 16 on 4th down last year, but they'll try it here. They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. That's complete to White. And unable to break away, they stop him a few yards shy. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Lions will get the football back in terrific field position. Stafford on 1st down. Little short pass to James. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. The completion to Riddick. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had no arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around it.
And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Matthew Stafford, 2 touchdown passes in this 1st quarter. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. Still 1st quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the 1st half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points get that 0 off the board. They run on 1st down as they're able to get this forward for about 4. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the 2nd half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the 1st half. Maybe not so much in the 2nd half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Yeah, boy, from up here, I don't think Johnson got there. No, he did not. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
4th and short, partner. I mean, this would be a really risky call. Here we are in the 1st quarter.
On your own side of the field.
Own side of the field.
And it's a fake here on 4th and inches. And the gamble pays off. They get the 1st. So they get the 1st down. Maybe not a huge play in terms of yardage, but the fake punt does the job. Now, this worked, so I guess I shouldn't be nitpicking too much, but they only had a couple of inches to go. Why fake punt?
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. If you're going to go ahead and try and pick it up in that short of a distance, I wouldn't even gone to fake punt formation. This is like using up a big play for no reason at all. Leave your offense on the field and pick it up. But again, what were we doing? We're nitpicking, right? Because they did get it.
It worked.
Chinese Ringo. Chinese on the Ringo. Chinese on the Ringo.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Pruitt. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, Couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
Back to throw. Pruitt. And he's got his man. It's the tight end play. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on second down. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on second and less than a yard. Out of the pistol, here's Johnson. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and they're going to have a third down. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their second. So as they take it over, we step aside. The Cardinals on third down, just 1 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2.
61, matchbox lights. Now.
And they'll go jet sweep to try to pick it up. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Here's Andy Lee now. On presumably to punt, though he did. And look at this, another fake. And shedding his way forward. And this winds up a disaster, nowhere near the marker. It's such a risky play there to fake it. You're either the hero or the GOAT. Here they're going to be the GOAT.
Unfortunate, too, because you know they thought they had something there. They don't call it just to call it. They don't just say, oh, what the heck, let's go ahead and fake it here. They feel like they've got something on. They've got the defense in the right spot. Just unsuccessful in that opportunity.
Yeah, baby, yeah!
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. He was trying to find Marvin Jones that time, and it's third down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
11 yards there and a Lion first down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets it...
And now the ball's out. Fumbled near midfield. Well, the Cardinals have got it. Going the other way. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play.
Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Rashawn Melvin. And he will take it across midfield and down to the 45. When the rookie QB gets his first touchdown pass, that's one you put in the trophy case. First career interception, that's going to be one he wants to forget.
Yeah, and he's not going to go ask for the football, right? Yeah, you can keep that one. The key for him, what does he learn from it? When he watches the tape, does he have an answer right now where he already understands what mistake he made? That's what the coaches are going to want to know, and that's what they'll grill him on and see how he grows from it.
Terrell Suggs in on the tackle. From the 40 now on second down. Stafford, he finds Riddick complete. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. The Lions on third down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 8. Out of the gun, Stafford. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. And the Cardinals have got it. Going the other way. And they bring this one back. A scoop and score. A fumble recovery touchdown for Arizona. So this defense clicking early in the year, week 1, the return for a touchdown.
The organization made a concerted effort in the offseason to improve this defense. I have to say they like the early returns.
Here's Phil Dawson now for the point after. And that one makes it 14-7. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Back out is Matthew Stafford in the Lions offense. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to come.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
3rd and long. It's Stafford. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. That was the corner, Robert Alford, with a sack.
Well, certainly some teams are not intimidated by down and distance on defense, are they? 3rd and very long? Let's go get this guy again. Big-time pressure.
Now it's Peterson. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And out will come the offense as they take over. A reminder coming up later tonight, the Patriots unfurl their 6 banners. They play host to their rival Steelers. And then on Monday night, it's the one weekend of the year where you get 2 games to wrap up the week. Texans and Saints from New Orleans in the early game, then Broncos and Raiders. Vic Fangio's coaching debut and the Raiders' final season opener in Oakland. That's the late game, 10:30 Eastern. To throw on 2nd down, Pruitt. Able to get away. But he can't get away forever, and down he goes. A'Shawn Robinson, too much to handle that time, gets the sack. The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This will be 3rd and 15. Looking to throw. Pruitt. And that is incomplete. Normally, I'd say this will lead to a punt attempt, but this offense already shown in the first half that they'll go for it on 4th down.
Well, they should have already said, punt it, punt it. Head coach should have already made that decision.
And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. To throw again. Stafford over the middle. It's Amendola. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
And that catch number 100 for his young career. And remember, only in his 2nd season. The future bright. The first down carry here for Johnson. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. It's the Pro Bowler Chandler Jones who makes the tackle. Throwing on 2nd down. Stafford throwing deep, and that's caught inside the 30. And he's going to get this deep onto Arizona's side of the field. A big play there for Detroit. 51 yards. And into the red zone now. And, Charles, they told us offense in the red zone was a focus this week in practice.
A huge priority, and the key was to get points. So you know that all the time during the week they talked about executing, taking care of the football, no big mistakes. Make sure they put points on the board and come out of it with that.
Stafford with a give. This is Riddick. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
Back to throw. Stafford. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. That has to feel like a very unsatisfying drive, right? You move the ball all that way, and then you can't convert on 3rd down.
But it was satisfying up until that point. Almost like a great movie. And then the film cuts out before the big ending.
They're not going to get it. They try to move the chains with a surprise, but it's a turnover on downs. Well, there's 2 sides here. I guess you could pinpoint and look at the offense and say, oh, man, what a disaster. Hey, the defense, though, they came through.
Preparation's the key to everything. And when you're on the defensive side of the ball and in special teams meetings, you prepare for plays like this. And in this case, they were actually able to win it.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Pruitt. And he's going to get this from the 6 out to the 12. A pickup of 6 as they double their workspace. The Cardinals on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Back to throw. Pruitt. Staying on his feet. Now he'll escape to his left. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the first down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
They'll try and run for it with Justin Fowler. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down. Surprised at all that they went with a fullback there?
Not at all, because it harkened back to the days where we watched these games almost in black and white, right? The stocky guy, the strong guy, the powerful guy with leg drive. Give him the football, and even if the blocking isn't perfect, he has the ability to scatter bodies and move people enough to pick up first downs. That's what we just saw right there.
Running from the gun, Johnson. Takes this to the 27. Give him 4 yards.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to give them into a manageable third down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Well, apart from Kyler Murray, not too many mobile QBs in this year's rookie class, but some good scrambling there to get the first. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. From the gun, Pruitt. Looking for White on the deep ball. Into a double team, and I do believe this is going to wind up a safety. It is. It's a safety. How about that for a wacky play? Wow, what a disaster. You talk about a guy making a good play on the interception and then just trying to be too cute on the return.
It almost felt like his own gyroscope really got out of whack, didn't it? Going backwards into your own end zone after such a great play. Totally disoriented and gave up 2 points for his team.
And remember, following the safety, you give the football up as well, and they free kick it from the 20 now.
Here we go, here we go, here we go.
We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. A gain of 3, second down. Cardinals got to go quickly, hustling to the line. Looking to throw on second down. Pruitt. He's got a man complete. It's Clay. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 27 yards there, a first down. This quarterback now just 6 of 16 through the air, but he does have a 1st and 10 here. And he'll go down at the 28. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Second down and inches. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. An incomplete pass on second down leads us to 3rd and inches. Operating from the gun, Pruitt. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Letting one go deep for the end zone. And that is going to be incomplete. The Cardinals unable to convert there on 4th down. And the Lions will take over. So certainly the question there, 4th and very short, why throw so deep?
Sometimes the defense actually forces you into these things. Sometimes. What happens is you might end up in a man coverage where they press up tight. Could be a zone coverage where they're crowding the line of scrimmage, and receivers have to convert their routes to try and beat that coverage, and you end up throwing it deeper than you want to. Preferably, you want a 3-yard pass in this situation. Get the first down and keep the sticks going.
He's going to find his running back. It's complete. So we are at halftime here in the opener of the 2019 regular season. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome back to football, everybody. We've got a full slate of 16 games here to start the new season. So let's take our first trip around the NFL. We'll start up in the Pacific Northwest at CenturyLink Field in Seattle. And it's the Bengals who are out in front as those two head towards the break. Joe Mixon, over 100 yards on the afternoon thus far with a touchdown run as well. From there, we fly east to Philly to check on the Eagles at home at Lincoln Financial Field. And they were losers in their ball game as they fall to the visiting Washington Redskins. Adrian Peterson. 2 touchdown runs to lead the way. Lastly, we head to the Gulf Coast and check on the Bucs at home in Tampa. And they've got the lead in that ball game over the visiting 49ers. Mike Evans, a touchdown reception. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
I'm coming. 25, check 25, check 25. Go, Mike.
Again, it's Johnson. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year. And
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They couldn't contain Deshaun Hand that time as he gets home for the sack. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 27. Faking the give to Johnson. Now it's Stafford. Incomplete. Johnson the intended target, but it's going to be 2nd down.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play. They'll
get 3 out of the dump-off there, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. The Cards going nickel. An extra defensive back out there now on 3rd down. Here's Stafford. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a 1st down.
Has a pretty good throw on the curl route there. 3rd down, and they pick up a 1st.
Defense should be aware for that, right?
They should be aware, but it's so hard sometimes.
It's not easy.
Because when they sell that route really well, you think they're going upfield, and they curl back, show their numbers to the quarterback, and complete the play.
11 yards there, and a Lion 1st down. On 1st and 10, Stafford. He'll get this one to Galladay. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Off of play action. Here's Stafford. Rush coming, and he's taken down. The sack by Terrell Suggs.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. And he's got Amendola on the connection. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
They didn't get the 1st down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the 1st. So an empty possession there. What do you think went wrong, Charles?
Well, it looked like maybe the plant leg might have given way just a little. And when that happens, guys have a tendency to pull through the ball to compensate. And in doing so, sent this one off target.
Check 99. Check 99.
throwing on first down. Pruitt. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
Come on, set.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. There's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Able to find Isabella. And he's got this down to the 35. It'll be an Arizona first down on a gain of 17. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the gun, Pruitt. And some room to run now. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. Some early fireworks from this rookie quarterback getting the start in week 1.
And every time a rookie quarterback gets to start week 1, you and I both know the extra attention that comes with it. We know that he's going to throw the football, but will he make the right decisions? And in this case with his legs, he showed the defense there's an extra dynamic to his game.
Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
Watch that in. Watch that in. Big grip.
Operating from the gun. Pruitt. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against him.
A terrible spot for a holding call as they'll try again, but now from further back on 1st and goal.
Hey, Echo.
From the gun, Pruitt. And nearly picked off there, almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Trey Flowers, the former Arkansas Razorback, in there to get him.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
He'll find his tight end, Seals Jones. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. A big play, but still not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal.
General West.
On 4th down, Pruitt. He's got his man. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Hakeem Butler, his first NFL reception, goes for 6. And the Cardinals have taken the lead. Little loft on that touchdown pass and sort of dropped it in the breadbasket perfectly.
Right in the bucket. And when you're coming out of college and you're a rookie in the NFL, sometimes you forget about the different types of throws you have to make. You just rely on your fastball and throw it as hard as you can all the time. But in this situation, he understood and threw it in a spot where only his receiver was going to get it and no one else. That was pretty.
So they make the decision. They want a 3-point lead versus a 2-point lead, and they got it.
Yeah, at this stage of the game, it seems like the exact right thing to do. Put a little pressure on your defense, but the biggest thing now is you're making the other team chase you.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
Let's go.
Getting set to go again, Matthew Stafford trots back onto the field. He's hoping to channel his first half play. They had the lead at halftime, was playing well. Flip the script here in the 3rd quarter a little bit.
I think he misses the Pee Wee days, you know, when you just got the orange slice at halftime, right? And remember, weren't any real adjustments then, right? You weren't looking at some tape, right? You weren't looking at stuff off of the surface tablets. You just went back out and played. Right now, maybe the adjustments have caught up to him.
We'll see. Maybe he just needs a couple orange slices here for this drive. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll be a third and about 13. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
40 got. Christian, travel.
Stafford to Riddick on the draw. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
Well, they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments and usually only at halftime, but the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. They begin the drive with Johnson. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's 2nd and 8. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. It'll be an Arizona first down on a gain of 17. The 11-time Pro Bowler Larry Fitzgerald still has it. His production did take a dip last year on the heels of 3 straight 1,000-yard campaigns. He's in the back half of his 30s now. What a career it's been. Coming into this year, over 1,300 receptions, 116 of those for touchdowns, and second only to Jerry Rice in career receiving yards. Pretty spectacular. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
Here we go. 60 Pittsburgh. Rush in.
2nd and 6. And he finds Fitzgerald. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A Cardinal first down on a gain of 13.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
On the double.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player. You threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
From the gun on 3rd down. Pruitt. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
They run. It's Johnson. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Solid running on the carry, but still brought down just inside of the 40. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
50, plant. Guys, it's game situation. Let's go.
Johnson running right. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
You can't block me. Ready?
From the gun on 3rd down. It's complete to the tight end Clay. And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 29-yard line.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the 1st down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moved.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 14.
What a catch and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They
don't
get
they?
a little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Here's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. 1st down Lions on a pickup of 13. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
If you're thinking of a comeback here, you go to 2016. That's when Stafford had an NFL record 8 fourth-quarter comebacks. But last year, despite playing all 16 games, he had 0. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a 1st down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
A running play on 1st down, and it turns into a fight just to get back to the line of scrimmage. Tackle made there by Jordan Hicks. From the 50, Stafford. Oh, he stays up. But now he's swallowed up and taken down. Terrell Suggs, one of the best in the business at finding the QB, gets home there. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. From the gun, here's Stafford. And that will be incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And this will be taken at the 13. Almost outkicked his coverage there. 48-yard punt, but 10 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And after the slow start, the numbers show he has really straightened things out. How often sometimes is that you come into a game and the defense is game planned a little differently than you expected?
More often than maybe people realize. So adjustments are often a big part of each and every game. And it's not just getting to halftime. It's series to series to make it work. And being able to hang in there when there's a little adversity early and see them able to flip it around, it's kind of gratifying for a team to watch, especially for a coach.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Andy Isabella was the intended target, and it's 3rd and short. They tried the throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. On the ground, this is Johnson. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. They end up getting stuffed twice after that 9-yard gain back on 1st down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Riddick light on his feet. They'll score that a 36-yard punt. And Detroit getting set to go now. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Now, he's been a busy man out of the backfield. They've looked his way quite a bit so far in this game.
Nice job there defensively, though, adjusting, because a couple of his earlier catches, he was wide open. Not that time.
You mentioned the key word, adjustment. A better cover man on him now in space.
Back to the air. Stafford on 2nd down. Open man is Galladay, complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a 1st down. Well, some good games around the league here early in week 1, and this one's shaping up to be as good as any of them as we come up on a 1st and 10. Boy, nowhere to go at all on that 1st down run as they will get to him behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
On 2nd and 11 now. Stafford, and a quick throw here, that's complete. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 14.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route, the drag, and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone, and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Stafford. Caught by Jones. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. 3rd and 2, Stafford. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Jermaine Kearse there to make the grab. And now they can recapture the lead if they can make the PAT. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Extra point good by Prater. And they have taken the lead here in this 4th quarter. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions. And after the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
And he won't get back to the line of scrimmage this time either as they stop him behind the line once more. From the gun on 3rd down. And he's got Fitzgerald. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A Cardinal first down on a gain of 13. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Pruitt. They'll roll him out right. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Hey, wahoo!
Back to throw. Pruitt. He finds his man Johnson. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 38-yard line. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 38. Looking to throw. Pruitt. Over the middle and caught by the tight end Clay.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. On the carry, it's Edmonds. And he'll go down at the 28. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3-and-out.
On 1st down, Pruitt. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Throwing again. Pruitt. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
Safety's creeping. Hey, high 7.
To throw on 3rd down. Pruitt. That's complete to White. And he'll be stopped here well short of the first down at the 24-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
22 jet bomber, 22 jet bomber. Check 52.
The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. One score down. Here we go.
61.
They're going to go for it here on 4th down. On 4th down, Pruitt steps away to his left. The Cardinals unable to convert there on 4th down. And the Lions will take over. Well, you feel the excitement build on those 4th down plays. Defense has to stay out there, but for the offense, when that thing doesn't work out, such disappointment.
It can absolutely be a deflator, but how about the defensive guys? If they stop you on 4th down, they are absolutely elevated going to their bench.
They're elevated now. Big stop on 4th down. Give them a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Stafford. James has got it. Complete. And he's able to get out to the 32. Brought down there. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
Let's go, baby.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. Now Stafford, complete to Jones. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Muscles him off. And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. 7 yards there and a first down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Stafford. Out to the flat for Reddick. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. 4th quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight 1-point game. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. Here's a quick throw complete to Galladay. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. 3rd and 15 here after the 1st and 2nd down plays went in the wrong direction. They go to Johnson again. Down to the 25. The Cardinals forced to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So here comes the veteran Matt Prater in a big spot in this ballgame. Right hash mark, a 42-yard attempt. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through, and the drive will wind up yielding 3. So he missed his first attempt, remember, but this time he gets back on the bike and knocks it home.
Man, sometimes that first one can really impact you moving forward. It can just stay with you too long and affect everything else you do during the game. In this case, though, able to shake it off. He's riding high again.
Come on now, let's go.
All eyes on the Cardinals now. Down by 4, a little over a minute to go. This is only week 1 of the season, folks. Get strapped in as they come up here 1st and 10.
Set, 10 Lobo. Hey, Charlie. Hey, rock in.
They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that's caught inside the 35. And he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line. Back to throw. Charles, just a gigantic play right there.
Absolute breakdown defensively, but take no credit away. A huge gain, and that turns things around.
So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. So the pass incomplete in the end zone, but contact and pass interference.
And now where does the ball get placed?
At the 1-yard line.
1-yard line. They gave up excellent real estate on that one. That's going to work really, really well for the guys who threw it.
And this is caught. Touchdown. And they've taken the lead here in the final minute.
How many people are watching this one right here who gave up? Because that score, they might want to try and rush back into this stadium.
Yeah, what looks like is going to be the game-deciding score, although a little bit of time left, so you can't count your chickens before they're hatched.
Well, they better come back in here and watch this one because you and I, we're not going anywhere. We want to see this one play out.
Now an important extra point here to stretch this lead to a field goal. He's got it, and this is indeed up to a 3-point lead. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and it winds up in a touchdown for Arizona. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go.
Now it's the Lions' turn, trailing by a field goal. 20 seconds to go. They've surrendered a double-digit lead but can rescue themselves late as they come up on first down.
For that, Galawini! Galawini! Alert!
He's back to throw. The completion to Riddick. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Back to throw. Throw left side complete. It's James. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. And now here comes their final timeout as they take it with 8 ticks remaining. From the 50 at Stafford. He's going to let it fly. And he can't hang on to it. That would have sealed it. Instead, 2nd down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Let's pick it up. It's out of time, guys. Out of time. Let's get on.
One last throw here for Stafford. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. So it's a win here for the Arizona Cardinals. And, partner, I must say, good to see you again. Been too long. And it's good to have football back, isn't it?
Didn't you see me in preseason? Weren't we together in preseason?
Yeah, but preseason, you know, it's preseason. This is week 1.
Oh, you're trying to say real football.
Yeah, real football.
Not preseason football where we shake down the rosters and figure out who's going to play, and maybe the starters don't play as much. Now it's the frontline guys from the first whistle.
Yeah, I tuned you out in the preseason. And now I'm listening to you. So for the Cardinals, it wasn't always pretty, but they do